Welcome back, America. We just showed you a little bit of what AFL-CIO President Richard Trumka is up to over in Europe, working with a Democratic Socialist. But now let me show you what he's been doing here in America. In Baltimore, the young trade unionists are celebrating their one-year anniversary. Happy birthday, guys. Well, I wasn't invited to the party. They started last year with young union members and got them into the encouragement and support of the AFL-CIO. At the party, AFL-CIO Secretary-Treasurer praised them for, quote, working hard to build relationships with other progressive organizations, faith groups, Democrats, and other like-minded Maryland groups. Well, here's how they're selling themselves to the kids in Baltimore. This is great.
Some of the regular union meetings that I go to, it's all business. Well, these definitely, give us a chance to socialize with the rest of the, younger members out there in the different unions, which I think makes it more appealing to the younger crowd.
We try and make things more fun because naturally people are more attracted to having a good time while learning something.
Hey, I'm down with that. Just having fun, hanging out. Marxism is fun, isn't it? Let's get together and partay with the proletariat, comrade, in solidarity against the bourgeoisie. If you really, though, want some real good quality propaganda, try this one out.
What are you guys doing still on break? I need you to go back to work. I gotta make the money right now. How am I supposed to get this job done when y'all standing right here doing nothing?
We're about to get right to it, but since you're here, before you leave, I really need to take tomorrow off, man. My daughter's extremely sick, and I gotta take her to the hospital.
What do you mean you gotta take a day off? How am I gonna get the job done if you home? If you home doing nothing?
I'm hardly ever.
Look, get back to work.
You're doing too well.
And why you guys put up with that stuff, man?
What else are you gonna do? But get fired?
Nah, man, not if you got the union back in it.
Man, I was afraid because his daughter had to go to the hospital and his boss wasn't going to let him do that. Man, if I had $1 for every time that happened to me, well, I wouldn't have $1 because it's never happened to me or anybody I know. But, man, I'm really sheltered. My boss has also never thrown his hard hat down when I said, I got to take my sick grandma to the hospital. Oh, good thing. Good thing, because I don't have a union rep as cool as that guy. He was cool, and he followed up immediately afterward. These people were lucky. That I don't think was a reenactment, by the way, because I don't think that's ever happened. But anyway, now we have the unions. Remember, we told you last week the AFL-CIO, the unions in your church. But now kids are being targeted. Yes, the Daily Caller is reporting that colleges are steering their students now towards food stamps. Isn't that great? Welfare benefits. No, not if they need food. This is financial aid. This is insidious. No, it's Cloward and Piven. Wait a minute. Cloward and Piven. Didn't he work at Columbia? And she currently teaches at the City University of New York. Yes, and she also serves as an honorary chair of the DSA. DSA. Democratic Socialists of America. And these guys were teaching at colleges. Hey, wait a minute. Didn't Marxist revolutionary hate America, blow things up Bill Ayers also? Yes, he's a currently retired professor from the University of Illinois at Chicago. And now he's writing books on how to teach your kids in school. And now these guys are now teaching our kids to be on food stamps. It's just financial aid. Man, I wish I got an invitation to come to their party, because it sounds like a fun party, doesn't it? Really does. Here's the good news. It's not just organize the youth and your churches and getting your kids to use food stamps as financial aid. No. Now, they're also reaching out to teach your kids yet another skill. This skill is called democratic, and that sounds good, democratic revolution. Oh, yeah. I'll show that to you next.
Well, I'm just here to say thank you, Dad. Had you guys not been so irresponsible, then I might not have had the chance to work 70-hour weeks just to make ends meet. Oh, I'm also really digging this hyperinflation. Yeah, I can't tell you how much fun it is to try and make it to the cash register before the price of my Depends doubles. So, I hope you guys have fun doling out more free stuff to yourselves. Oh, don't worry about paying for any of it. That's what I'm here for, right? Change my diaper now.
I bring this stuff to you every night because you have to be aware of it. And it's, quite frankly, not stuff I want to bring you every night. But you must be aware, and you must gather your family and know what is happening in your country just outside of your vision. Let me introduce you to a group who would love to influence your college kids. Revolution. So who is Revolution? Well, Revolution is an international socialist youth organization. Quoting, "We are a group of young activists who are fed up with unemployment, war, poverty, cuts, and capitalism." This group published an article called, "What is Violence?" Here's a paragraph from the article that might give you a sense of who this group really is. What is violence? The history of the British democracy is one long struggle of the oppressed against their oppressor. Does that sound familiar? They go on, starting with the supremacy of the parliament over the unelected monarch that was won with a bloody and violent civil war, and the forceful removal of Charles I's head. This was followed by the struggle for the right to vote to be extended to people other than the landowning rich, which saw mass riots across the country escalating to a general strike and near revolution, which finally forced the ruling class to back down. Later on, the suffragette movement utilized violent tactics such as occupations, the storming of Parliament, and yes, the breaking of windows to win the right to vote. The next sentence, however, is, however, this isn't just a matter of history. The struggle continues to this day. I've been saying now, oh gosh, almost for 5 years, I've been warning that they were sowing the seeds of this, and I've been saying for at least 2 years that this is what's coming now. And it is not limited to Europe. Radicals are infesting our education system, our union hierarchy. They even our government is riddled with them. What is it going to take for your friends and neighbors to finally see all of them, see the truth for what it is? Maybe you should just have them start listening to the left in the press about Julian Assange and Soros, because they're now saying the same thing I have been warning. But they will take you to a dramatically different place. They're getting to our kids for a reason, because we're not going to be the generation that solves it. Our kids are. And if they don't, if our children and our college students don't know the history of our country and don't know they're being used, the American experiment vanishes from the face of the earth. But if we do our jobs as parents and grandparents, it will survive. And you will never be able to extinguish the flame of freedom. Back in a minute. Next week, I'm going to be in Wilmington, Ohio. It's a little teeny town that has really taken a beating in the last couple of years, and it's a great town. The people there are amazing. I want you to come and meet them. If you're anywhere near Wilmington, Ohio next week, you come. Live broadcast. I'm going to do the radio show in the morning, book signing at the local bookstore that is just the greatest little bookstore, then the live broadcast at night for Fox, and then another stage show, and it all goes to benefit the town. And I want you to come and do your Christmas shopping. There's really cool stuff that is going to happen in this little town. I just saw this article from the Wilmington News Journal. It's about a man from Kansas who drove 640 miles for a haircut after hearing me talk about Wilmington, Ohio. 640 miles. They didn't get his name because he's 62 years old, and he said, "I don't want any publicity on this." But the paper reports that in the past 2 years, they call him Joe, has experienced the death of a parent, divorce, and the death of a son who died around Thanksgiving last year from the H1N1 virus. He said, "I sat around the apartment for 9 months, and I was watching Glenn Beck, and he started talking about the folks in Ohio having a rough time, and something spurred me to get off the couch and to do something." He said, "I thought about it all through the weekend. 3 o'clock on Tuesday morning, I decided to drive to Wilmington and work in the soup kitchen. But on the way there, he realized that he needed a haircut, needed to service his truck, and he needed a new pair of glasses. So he got his hair cut at the Oak Barber Shop in downtown. He stayed a couple of nights at the General Denver Hotel, which he says has terrific food. And then he went to an optometrist, Glenn McDonald. He got his eyes examined, bought some glasses, went to Aldi's and got some what he calls dry goods. And then he went to your father's soup kitchen, which is inside the Sugar Tree Ministry facility. Joe did the dishes in the kitchen and met a 12-stepper from the addiction recovery program. He also met a bunch of church folks that were volunteering their services, Quakers one time, Presbyterians another. Joe says he's absolutely glad he made the trip and found it very rewarding. He said, my life has been touched, and I hope I've touched some lives too. Your life is going to be touched. This is not Pottersville. This is Bedford Falls. Experience America's first Christmas this year and learn from these people on not how to survive, how to be the Americans that we all want to be, how to be the community that we all want to be. In the face of unbelievable strife, these people are teaching us something that we need to see. Come meet them. Come let them change your life. Join me next Wednesday in Wilmington, Ohio. I'm telling you, bring your kids. You won't forget this one. Back in a minute. I want you to go to upillar.com. upillar.com. My family and I, we're selling a lot of our stuff, and it's all for charity. And tomorrow is the last day of the auction. Check it out at upillar.com. Also, on Friday, a very special show with the best man I know. You do not want to miss an hour of inspiration, and you will stand up and say, I can do it. The Power of the Individual on Friday. Don't miss it. From New York. Good night, America.